So, in Stage 3 of Viento, we're in a nondescript warehouse of sorts, once again fighting the Mafia, led by Al Capone, which in the game was translated as Vincent DeMarco, for some reason I still not sure of. We're gonna fight fat gangsters now, fat Mohawk gangsters, which they do explode. That you weren't imagining that, that was a Fat Man explosion you saw just now. We're also fighting tiny jumping pirates, which also explode. Everything pretty much explodes. That is just on its world. Everywhere she goes, things explode. Including these barrels. There's a little bit of strategy used in this level. There's barrels we can kick around and, you know, send them into explosions that cause the gangsters nearby to suffer a cruel explosive fate. And in fact, there's a little area up here where we can just kick barrels around, sending them down little holes. And I was having a little bit of trouble doing that because you probably noticed a crossfade in a 2D platformer. Yes, that happened. And I do not apologize. I'm not sorry. Anyway, we are using these barrels we kick down to make these fights against the fat gangsters a little easier. And with that, we got past the first area of Stage 3, and we're heading down to the sewers. Yep, El Viento has the obligatory sewer stage, and yes, it's pretty annoying. It's not terrible, but it's pretty annoying. So, we fight these mice, these plant things, and go up this ladder right here to skip a part of the stage. You'd think that was like an actual, like, out-of-sequence skip, but in fact, that's the only way to get through the level, to go up past that ceiling. Kind of an odd stage design choice there. But yeah, you can see what makes the stage annoying, these ultra-fast mice that you have to avoid. This part in particular is kind of a pisser. But after enough practice, you get through it okay. And here you have to get some help from a fish to get you past that jump right there. And now we go further down into the depths, and we see that maybe this wasn't a regular warehouse that we were infiltrating. Maybe there's a little bit more to it. Looks pretty dark and creepy and kind of hellish down here, doesn't it? So yeah, as dark and creepy-ish and hellish as it is, there's really not much to say about it. We've got these monster guys throwing axes at us, more breakaway floors, some centipede-type things to fight, and that's about it, really. Get a life refill down here. And yeah, par for the course, 4 on it. I don't know, maybe they thought that, like, Al Capone's estate would get mad if they kept him in the game. Maybe they would send someone to have the programmers offed or something. So he had to be Vincent DeMarco. Anyway, we hit a mid-boss right here, the 3 dragons, the Dragon Brothers. Aim for the head, as is usual. These things explode better than anything that's ever exploded in the game before. Look at that. Explosions so big that they cause the game to lag. And after disposing of these dragons, we finally get the second spell of the game, the water spell. By holding the magic button down a little bit longer, we can activate the spell, which causes water to trail along the ground. And we need that to get past this fire that's blocking the next boss. And yes, we did just cause fire to explode. Now this is a really cool boss, actually. You can look at the neat effects that it has as you strike it with your boomerangs. It causes it to wobble and shake like a big old thing of jello. Yeah, it's pretty neat. This is not the kind of effect you typically see on the Genesis. Usually you'd have to go to the Super NES with its Mode 7 to see these kind of stretching and scaling effects. But yeah, somehow Wolf Team managed to do this effect just using sprites. I think that's what they did. I've always wondered how they did it, and to this day I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe they just use a bunch of sprites and put them together. But yeah, you can see the strategy of the boss is to keep using a water spell to take care of those little green things, little platelet cell things. I'm really terrible with science, and I just completely embarrassed myself there, didn't I? Platelet things? Well, anyway, I'm obviously fighting a nucleus. I know that much, and I've taken it out. That's Stage 3.
If we let things continue like this, she will block us from summoning Lord Hoster.
You're afraid of Onnet, aren't you? If she tries to do something to us, then I'll deliver the final blow to that girl.
The final blow? I don't feel totally convinced by her once since you've been beaten by her once.
What do you mean?
All you need to do is think of taking possession of Lord Hoster's power. Don't think of anything else.
You mean you want me to be a sacrifice?
Stop this nonsense! You are not going to be a sacrifice! You are going to become Lord Hoster himself!